Hello, everyone. This is Mr. Orm with Reading is Fantastical here with another great book review for you today. I think you're going to love it because it involves sports. Hmm. So, do you like football? Now, I'm talking about the American football. So, what is your favorite position if you do indeed like football? Or, like, say, even if you like football, do you like it? And so, once again, we're not talking about soccer. So we just had the FIFA here, so it's been great. Let's talk a little bit about the football, American football. Have you ever volunteered? Now I'm going to pivot real quick. Have you ever volunteered with other kids to raise money to perhaps or help a cause that can help kids? So we talked about football and raising money to help kids. Hmm, what is that about? Let's go to the next page and find out what we're talking about here. And here it is. There it is, better than a touchdown. And guess who wrote it? Especially if you're a football fan, you recognize this name. Written by Jalen Hurts, the quarterback for Philadelphia Eagles. Pretty cool, huh? So that's him right there in the cover, and it's the other kids around him. Let's go to the next page. All right, so let's read the inside cover here. Let me grab the book. Okay. Once again, this is a book that I got from the public library, one that you can get yourself. Of course, you can order it yourself and have it in your own home library. So don't forget about that. All right, so let me go ahead and read from the inside cover. From Philadelphia Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts comes an empowering story about friendship, the power of teamwork, and achieving goals together. Jalen is so excited for the new school year because this is a year he'll finally get to try out for the football team. But when he arrives at school, he learns the unthinkable that the football team has been cut. What? He and his friends are devastated, but Jalen isn't ready to give up. And with advice from some friends, maybe, just maybe, they can save the day. Better than a touchdown is a love letter to the power of community, being there for one another, and how a piece of good advice can change the course of a day. Told with Jalen's signature wisdom and gorgeous art by Nneka Myers, hopefully I'm saying that right, Better Than a Touchdown carries a message we can all learn from. By working together, there's nothing we can't accomplish. Right? Let's go to the next page. Right. So as we always do here, we always want to recommend the copyright page because it gives you information about the author, the illustrator, and especially about the publisher. And it also gives you information on how you can contact these folks and let them know how much you enjoyed their work, this book. Right? Go to the next page. All right, here's the author page. And once again, Better Than a Touchdown, written by Jalen Hurts and illustrated by Nneka Myers by Flamingo Books. Okay. All right, you see him there. Very cool. Cool graphics. Next page. All right. So let's go ahead and get this thing set up here. Are you ready to get to the story? I think I am. Are you sitting comfortably? Are you relaxed? Do you have your reading ears on? Are you being quiet and keeping your hands to yourself? Okay, not like football where you're supposed to go catch, but here so we can receive the information. All right, let's go. And there's the first page. There's the first page. So we see, I think that's Jalen, a little kid there with his dad with a football coming out of their home. It's a nice home. It's got roses in the windows and flowers and such. All right, let's go to the next page. All right, so we see a window here, and let's see what's written on this page. This is going to be Jalen's year, the year he finally got to try out for the football team. That night, he had dreamt of dodging defenders and scoring his first touchdown. All right. Jim was fired up as he walked out the door. His dad was right there to say, "Have a great first day of school. And remember to always give your best." Right? Jalen would try to remember that. Try to remember that. Okay, let's go to the next page. All right. It says here a welcome back sign there in the window or on the wall in the school. But when he burst into school, something was off. He noticed some boys huddled around the announcement board where they have posters and information on what's going on with the school, right? So he looked was like a little bit worried. Let's go to the next page and find out what's going on with these boys and what are they reading. All right, so we see on the wall, uh-oh, look at that middle poster. It says football canceled. Football canceled. Maybe the trials is canceled. Maybe the practice for today is canceled. But it says on here, football canceled. What else is on the board? Garden club meeting at the playground. So the garden club is still going. So it's not like all activities. It just looks like football's canceled. Okay, and the next poster over to the right, and I think those are the kind of clowns for like theater. So maybe the theater is still going on, but not so much for football. Let's find out what's going on. Let's go to the next page. So you see him with his friends. What's up? Jalen asked. No football this year, his friend Trey said. What? Wait. Go to the next page. What? Look at him. What is going on here? What? Go to the next page. No football this year, but Jalen had waited forever. Oh my goodness, look at him. He is not happy at all. Woo. Go to the next page. Look at him. This happy, his face is happy. Okay, but let's read what's at the bottom. He never scored that game-winning touchdown now. Oh man. This him imagining that he's not going to have this smiley face because football is canceled this year. Right? Let's go to the next page. Oh, there's that sad face. Look at that. Ooh, look at that face. Let's read what's on the top. They said there's nowhere for us to practice because the garden club planted all those vegetables, said Trey. Jalen sighed. They couldn't ask the garden clubs to move? Not when their veggies, had grown so much over the summer? Wow, there are a lot of veggies there. There are really, look at, they've grown a lot. There is a lot. Look up to the back. Somebody's moving some stuff. Let's go to the next page. Oh, it says here canceled. Okay, it says canceled as a football scoring thing. Okay, and we see all the vegetables, all the veggies had grown a lot. Look at that. Ooh, they're everywhere. Go to the next page. So we see him in the classroom now, and let's read what's at the top. He slumped into his classroom. A school year with no football? What is even the point? He is really sad. He says the only reason he's going to school just for football. Well, of course, there's more important things as well, right? But not for Jalen. Go to the next page. All right, here's the teacher. All right, let's read what's at the bottom here. That's really hard, said Mrs. Lee, overhearing Jalen and his friends. They explained about the football team, and she nodded, listening real close. But I always say challenges help you become better. Every step you take makes you braver and stronger. Jalen wasn't so sure about all that, but he tried to remember. All right, next page. Now we see him in another class, right? In music class, Jalen could barely focus on his xylophone. The notes sounded all wrong. When the kids were lining up, Jalen asked his teacher, Mr. Berry, how come you're always in such a good mood? The news about football was still getting Jalen down, and Mr. Berry was always happy. Maybe he could help. Maybe he can help Jalen feel better because his teacher, Mr. Berry, is always happy. Maybe he can rub off some of that happiness onto Jalen. I think that's what he's asking, right? Go to the next page. Okay, so we see the kids in line of some sort. Maybe they're going to lunch line. Let's read what's at the bottom. Well, I love my job, kid. Helping others and being kind makes the world a better place. And that puts a smile on my face. Jalen would try to remember that too, right? I think we all need to try that, right? Go to the next page. All right, so when the city kids looks like they're walking, going by a fence area, let's read what's on the side. Jalen walked home from school and saw Mr. Muhammad. He ran the corner store near Jalen's house and sometimes gave Jalen and his friends juice boxes when they played in the empty lot next to the store. Mr. Muhammad, Jalen said, what do you do when you get bad news? Mr. Muhammad thought for a second. Well, Jalen, I think of it this way. 10% of life is what happens to you, and 90% is how you respond. Jalen let that sink in. Right? He said, 10% is of life is what happens to you, and 90% is how you respond to that 10%. Right? Let's go to the next page. And so we see Mr. Muhammad here in front of the store. Looks like carrying some product in. And see Daily Special. Ooh, that looks like a hoagie because it's from Philadelphia. We'll see. Yes, we're open. Let's go to the next page. As he waved goodbye, Mr. Muhammad said, don't forget, Jalen, every day is a new adventure, and you get to choose how to face it. Did he have a choice in how he reacted to the bad news about football? Good question. Okay, see the kids out there? Okay, go to the next page. It's Mr. Muhammad giving good advice. And now Jalen's thinking about it, right? All right, let's go to the next page. All right, now we see him back in class again. I think it's his next day. Oh, there it is. The next day, Jalen still couldn't keep his mind off the game. He thought about what Mr. Barry and Mr. Muhammad said, and what Mrs. Lee said about challenges. Jalen thought about having a choice. Maybe there was a way to fix this. He's thinking about it. Look at him. He's not even paying attention. What's going on? He's in the lunchroom. Okay, let's go to the next page. All right. Just then, Jalen had a big, bold, brilliant idea. And we see him there. And like the perfect touchdown, it would need planning and lots of help from teammates. All right. What is he up to? What are your thoughts? What do you think he's up to? Okay. Needs to get help from his friends, right? He said it's a big, bold, brilliant idea. All right. Let's see what's big and bold and brilliant about it. Next page. All right. All right. So we have his friends out here. Okay. It looks like they're in the playground area. Finally, it was time for recess. Jalen was always the first one out the door. Recess was his favorite part of the day. Is it your favorite part? I know it was mine. Outside, he told his friends about his plan. Everyone leaned in. The garden club even put down their shovels. He laid it out for them. What if we make our own field? Huh? Like own football field, you mean? Let's see what they're talking about. Ava wasn't getting it yet. But where will we get the supplies? Right? Ava wants to be the one on the ground over there with the shovel. She just put that shovel down. Okay, go to the next page. So this Jalen, he's jumping up. He must have a good idea. Jalen looked around and smiled. We have everything we need right here. We've got this. Right? He looks around. It's got this. Go to the next page. I think he might be right. After school, the kids got to work. Over the next few days, they drew up plans. They checked out books from the library. The football team and the gardening club worked together. All right, so I got the books out there. They're doing the research. We see pictures being drawn. Books are open, and lots of discussion and ideas from the kids. Right? They got together, and they're all happy about it. Right? Let's go to the next page. All right. So now we see Oh, we see him outside. He's next to the store with Miss Muhammad, and we see the kids out here in the field. Okay, they dug, they planted, and they hoped. Whenever things felt tough, Jalen reminded everyone, we can't lose if we don't quit. Once again, let me say it again. We can't lose if we don't quit. So as long as you don't quit, then you can win, right? That's right. Go to the next page. A week later, Mrs. Lee walked over to the empty lot and gasped, "This is amazing," Mrs. Lee said. "Look what you all have created together. To think this was just an empty lot until a couple days ago. Now it's a practice field. You guys make quite a team. Wow, look at that. It was an empty dirt lot, and it looks like they're selling lemonade to raise money, right? Because the lemonade stand with a football and lemonade right next to it. They got the grass, they took up all the dirt, they cleaned up all the trash, and they lined up. Looks like a football field, a practice field. Okay, practice area. Let's see what's on the other page to see the other half of the page. Oh, there it is. There's the other half of the field. Very cool. And still doesn't interfere with the vegetable area that's on the other side of the fence. Very cool. Very good idea. Next page. All right. So we see Mr. Barry and Mr. Muhammad drinking some lemonade. They bought some lemonade to help them raise money. Very cool. Very good idea. Very supportive, right? Next page. It's about time somebody found a use for this old space, said Mr. Muhammad, nodding. This is something very real special. Good work making the world better, said Mr. Barry with a wink. And we see Jalen there with a football, another football player, his friend, and then one of his friends, a young lady there. Maybe she'll play too. Okay. Who says only for boys? It can be boys and girls, right? All right. Next page. All right. So, looks like they're very happy. Let's read what's at the bottom. Jalen looked around. He had never been so proud of all his friends and of himself. It was even better than scoring that touchdown. Wow, that is a good idea. Go to the next page. All right, so him high-fiving his dad. His dad's out there. Okay, Jalen ran over and high-fived his dad, who is looking real proud. All right, his dad looks really happy, doesn't he? Next page. All right, at home, Jalen and his dad were throwing the football and talking about the new practice field. He still couldn't believe he and his friends had pulled it off. See what happens when you give it your best, Dad said. Son, just be you. That's always enough. Right? Look at him. He's ready. Look at Jalen. Tongue out. He's ready to catch the football. Got the lights out in the yard, so he could be playing at night, right? Go to the next page. Jalen would definitely remember that. Looks like he caught the football. All right. So he will definitely remember that. All right. Wasn't that cool? That's the story.